Hello, blessed and highly favored. I already tried to make this video once, but we all know how there's all kind of interruption and distraction once we start doing something for the Lord. Anyway, so this morning was absolutely beautiful. I was sitting there holding my little grandson, and I was thinking about the grandiosity of how much that I love my grandchildren, and how it's grown like deeper and deeper with each grandchild. And it seems like it had grown, deeper since I'd had kids. And so it was an in awe moment. And when you're in those in awe moments, and that's the moment when you be still, which I was unintentionally being still, and the Spirit began to speak. But the Spirit always speaks when you're being still. So, with that being said, I was being thankful, very thankful, for all the Lord had given me, for all His Spirit had given me. And as I'm being thankful, the Holy Spirit begins to speak, and He says, just as I have taught you that you grow in relationship with us, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, just as you grow in that relationship, just as you start out as a babe on milk and you move from the milk slowly to the meat, and then fully in the meat, and then the Holy Spirit disciples you from there, and you're in complete relationship with the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Okay, anyway, I made a video on that, but the Holy Spirit said, just as I have shown you this, that is true in all things. I was like, because I know you guys have seen my video where, like, God's like the sunshine, and every little ray, every little ray is something. So with that being said, I realized that when God taught me that lesson about relationship with Him, that the mere subject was relationship. The importance was with Him. But in the subject of relationship, there's lots of little sunshine rays, because God explains everything. Okay, y'all, I'm going to try to contain myself with this, because this is absolutely beautiful. Just as you have to grow, as in growing in a relationship with the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, you have to grow in all things. So, I'm sorry. As an elder of my family, so that would be mother, grandmother, great-grandmother. I can only imagine what it's going to be like when I'm a great-grandmother. But as an elder of my family, I had to grow. So every moment of my life was for a reason. God doesn't waste anything. So when I was a child, it taught me a point of view. It taught me how to understand my children and my grandchildren. Um, it taught me how to pay attention, the importance of the reasoning and the way that my parents and my grandparents looked at things. And then as I moved in to an adult, into motherhood, so I grew step by step. So I loved my children with my whole heart, with my whole being, everything in me. But as I grew, child by child, and I loved more and more, not that I loved any one of them more than the other. It's just that the understanding, the extent of love within my heart, it grew more and more. And then I became a grandmother, and it grew even more. And I became a grandmother again, and it grew even more. So with each child, God was growing me and teaching me. With each grandchild, God is still growing me and teaching me. And all things are in His time, and our time is never His time. You know, the desire that you have in your heart to do for God, that desire was placed there by God, not by you. It seems like you come up with it, but no. He places the desires for Him in the depths of our heart. We just decide with our free will what we are going to do with that desire. With that being said, we should walk when He says to walk, run when He says to run, and be still when He says to be still. He doesn't waste a moment. Never ever think that He wastes a moment, because every moment of your life, not second, moment, that's smaller than a second. And every moment of your life, He has a reason and He has a purpose. And it's part of His plan. And He uses it to create you, to create who you are in Him, and to create something that can be used to create the fearfully and wonderfully made you. We all know that I see God as the sunshine God is. Trust me. But actually, in a parabolic way, looking at it as a parable, I see God as the sun and us as a prism. And God shines into us. And when God shines into us, each ray of light that comes out of us comes from Him. That's His work coming to fruition. But God decides. When I say it's God's time, that's because God decides how much light He shines into us. So the more light He shines into us, the more rays that prism is going to produce, which is, we are the prism. So God decides how much light He's going to pour into us, when He's going to pour it into us. We can't speed it up. We can't slow it down. The best thing to do is be obedient, because obedience is better than sacrifice. you want to fulfill everything He has for you, then you be obedient to His word.
There's more space.
Don't think that it's taken too long.
There's more space.
Don't think that you're failing Him, because you're not. It's His time. So no one can stop those rays of light. No one. He is the one that pours the rays of light into us. The stronger He becomes in us, the more light He pours into us. The more light He pours into us, the more rays of light come to fruition. So you want to be as the city set on a hill that cannot be hidden? You want to be as the sunshine? Then you allow Him to pour into you. You pour into yourself. All of Him you can get. And trust His timing. Wait on Him. Don't look to yourself. And don't expect ever that you're any less than what He has for you. Because it's His time and not yours. Be blessed.